Testing, we live. So I've been tracking down this fill bug. It turns out it is with the shaders. So yeah. I'm not even sure how I think what I want to do here is have color. Is mp.array b.empty. I guess it's 0. I'm not totally sure how numpy empty works. Can I just put 0 here? I think I put 0 in parentheses. 0 by 2. Oh, that only affects the shape. That's interesting. And if it's a shape that isn't size 0, I guess it fills that with garbage. Or leaves it filled with garbage. So does that want to be 0 and D-type equals MP float 32? Or maybe I don't need to have that D-type there. Though I'm not sure if I can append to this. Well, this is just 0, so that should be fine. So then let me see if I can do color. mp.append to color. And it should be this. And it should be this repeat. Like so. So now I'm building up the attributes array and I'm building up the color array separately. And then I think after this, I'll just say like attributes in color equals color. Let's see. And that crashed. And where did it crash? Attributes at in color equals color. Oh. Six 6072 into 618 by 4. Not sure where that number came from. Maybe I don't want this to be 0. I should print color. Make sure this shape makes sense. And it doesn't. This, maybe if I make this 0 in parentheses. So I need it to actually be a 2-dimensional array. 0 by 4? Number to append color. Then np.repeat this on axis equals 0. I wonder if this repeat is even what I want it to be. An object color equals this. And I can print that. Yeah, plot twist of the century. But when I use Grant shaders, it doesn't occur. And when I use non-Grant shaders, it does occur. I think I need to drop a breakpoint here. Okay, so... Oh. The mobject color. This is the proper shape. Different colors. Color. This is not the proper shape. Why? numpy.empty 0 by 4. Okay. Then I'm doing numpy.append color and this on axis equals 0. I guess that's not how you do that. Python. I have an array. I want that empty. 0 by 4, I guess. And I do numpy.append r, and I want another two-dimensional array. What's this do? That's what I want. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's not what I want. And if I add axis equals 0 here, well, that just breaks. I feel like that should work. All the input dimensions for the concatenation axis must match exactly. But a long dimension 1, the array at index 0 has size 4. Oh, wait, that makes sense. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is what I want. That's exactly what I want. So why isn't it doing that? numpy.append. Oh. This is axis, the axis equals 0. Then I need another axis equals 0. And maybe now that'll work. Nope. 1518 by 4 into 618 by 4. Now this shouldn't be attributes.shape, right? Yeah. So here I need object triangulation equals this. It's this, go back. Here I'll put object triangulation. And I'll append that to the attributes. And actually I should get the object color right here. Then I'll repeat the fill RGBA, not attributes.shape, but object triangulation.shape at 0. Long axis equals 0. Then I can build the attributes here. Build the color. Blake 4096, what's going on? Yeah, and the color, I'll just put my object color here. Wait. Visual till. Like so. And now, maybe. Okay, now it's working. I am so good at programming. Now, is there a better way to do this? Object triangulation, object color. And I append. This doesn't even have an axis equals 0. How? If I take this off? That crashes it. Curious. Well, I guess I'll just ignore that. That looked like it was. Wait, was that right? Something's up with the strokes. This is a lot better. What if I render the same scene without anything fancy. The stroke shouldn't be vanishing. Text, scale 3. Do something like that. The stroke is staying there. If I tried this like so. That actually... that didn't look so bad. Maybe that is okay. I don't know, that wasn't big enough problem for me to care, so. Great. Another bug fixed. Oh, then the triangulation. Okay, so let me take this out of animation.py. This debugging stuff. Yeah. Okay, let me check the difference now. Okay, now it's basically just this, and I can take out the... I'll take out the right test as well. Now it's basically just the fix. Then taking out the caching. So I'll put the caching back in. Even though I know that's buggy too. I don't think this scene triggers it though. But it might. Okay, it doesn't. Fix color bug. And I guess I'll have to probably do that for this CL as well. Which isn't approved, by the way, so if there's any community devs, approve that. Okay, so now I need to find out what was wrong with the caching, assuming this works now. Okay, let's see what this does now. Skip animation preview, don't need that. I'll just comment that. So many interactive embeds. Okay. And there was nothing at all. Wait, why did nothing happen? Did I take out all the play calls? No, there are play calls right here. Oh, no, I don't know what happened. Or was there... Oh, there's a skip animation preview here. Okay. Alright, there's something wrong with the A's. Okay, that looks more normal than it did before. The thing with the triangulation, I think I understand. This. So what I think is happening here, what I'm almost certain is happening here, is that the final phase of the triangulation isn't being computed again. It's kind of close though. And so if I comment out the caching, yeah, so if I comment out the caching, okay, then it just works. Which means there's some problem with that caching. Wow, I did not know that was behind that. Interesting. Things you see in 3D. Okay. So if it's a problem with this, what has to be happening is there's a time when this is returning a cached triangulation from here when it shouldn't have. And that's consistently happening at the end of the right animation. So maybe all I need to do to test this I'm just going to comment all of that. Just have text. Just gonna say test here. Something like this. Actually, if I have weight here, I wonder if that still has the problem. Looks like it. Well, I couldn't tell. Scale that. It looks like it was right. Try this. Actually, still looks like it was right. What was it like? If I did F sub 3 or something like that, I think that was wrong. Okay, well now it's just working. Well, oh, the orientation of this 3 is wrong. That's a problem with this. The fill shaders. That's really annoying. Because everything isn't following that orientation, apparently. So I think if I did x.data points equals by that flip of itself, then this would be smooth. And it's actually not, so that makes me feel better. Okay. Oh, it's not this one. I think it's texted 0 for the first child. That's the wrong thing too. No, it's actually still not smoother. Huh. If I just put a 3 here. This sort of looks like that too. And this is when I'm flipping it. If I don't flip it, yeah, it still looks like that. Oh well. Maybe that's just how it'll look. If I put 3 in text, this is perfectly smooth. Interesting. Is there something with the way LaTeX draws this? If I do those the default shaders, default fill shaders, And then it is smooth. That's annoying. Yeah, I guess I'll have to debug that too eventually. Life's hard. But anyway, I'll do that after I figure out the caching thing. Which I still didn't find a way to reproduce. I'll try doing right of this. This is pretty directly... Oh. That uses some data I can't just pull out. I guess I can just run it up to here. Let's stop it there. And something happened with the orientation of the dots that time. Oh, I'm using different shaders. This is what I want to do. And it worked that time. When I am caching the triangulation. Okay. Gonna continue to this time. Wait, why is it working now? Is this not saved? Oh, it wasn't saved. Okay, now I get to do that again. Come back to here. Check this again. Okay, so now it's doing that thing. With F sub 2. It looks like the letters are smooth this time, though. Or are they? I don't know, it's kind of hard to tell. But okay, now I'm going to try to write something more straightforward. Testing. I'll try to just self.wait here. And it did do that thing. The I and the T, you can tell there's something wrong with it. Okay, so what this tells me is that the very last time that the points are being set, it isn't being done by set points or whatever. So I go to OpenGL vectorism object and I see where needs new triangulation is updated. If something else triggers refresh triangulation, that's gonna set this boolean. And does that with like set points and I guess set data? I guess set data makes sense, yeah. Something must be doing like self.data at points equals something. I guess that's happening. Wait. Set points can do it. Append points? Refresh bounding box. Why wouldn't this update the triangulation? Resize. SVG Mobject. What is this doing? Okay. What would even be a good way to debug this, I wonder? I have an else. And here I can say using cache triangulation. This is recomputing triangulation. We take off all the letters but one, like the I. Here it's not doing the problem, actually. Do testing. Here it's doing the problem. So if I did IN, here it's not doing the problem. This is going to be fun. ING. Still not doing the problem. Oh, where did I go? But here, it is with the N. Weird. So it's like dependent on the number of points in the triangulation, I guess. Okay, well, that'll show it. I wonder if there's an easier way to find it. Oh, this S is doing it. That's perfect. Although I wonder if I scale this up, there's a chance that won't have the problem anymore. No, it still has a problem. I guess that's a good thing. So, I wonder if I wait 0, what'll happen? Okay. So here was recomputing, here it was using a cached one. And if I don't cache them, then this doesn't occur, I assume? Yeah. And it's happening with the very last points, I think. It's the last ones. It could be... I think at the end of animations, you like update 1 or something like that. Finish, you do self.interpolate 1. Could that be the problem? Interpolate 1. The animation is right. I go to right here. There's nothing, there's no override for finish. Here, there's also no override for finish. Just gonna use the default animation one. Which is just interpolate 1. And interpolate is going to do this, interpolate subobject, so it's going to do this. Subobject.interpolate. I wonder if subobject.interpolate could potentially be... You know what might be better here? No, I think that wouldn't work. No, wait. No, yeah. I have to figure out something with this. This is doing subobject.interpolate. If I go to the vectorized object, this is going to superclass interpolate. Why does it triangulate them both? That seems like it'd be slow, but okay. Triangulate object 1, triangulate object 2. And if they're different, then refresh the triangulation? Weird, okay. Okay, so here interpolate. For key and data, which includes points. Func equals this. Self.data at key. So this is going to update the points array. And it is doing it without updating the triangulation. But if I look back in the vectorized object code, if it has fill, it's going to triangulate these two. Why does it just do refresh triangulation? It should say needs new triangulation at the end of that. I'm gonna go to the animation. I'm just not gonna interpolate 1. See if that has any effect. No, that doesn't have any effect. Okay. It's probably not from doing interpolate 1. What else would happen at the end of a scene? Let me run this again. So it recomputes it here, and from there to the end, it's using a cached one. So I need to know what happens here. Here it's recomputing. It needs to recompute again. Somewhere here. How about... I'll just put this here. And then I'll just print out the count. Yeah. No, I'm not increasing it. So this time, the 14th time. Okay, so 0 to 14, there are 15 times that it recomputes the triangulation, which makes sense. But I guess there needs to be one more? Okay, I need 2 counts. The number of times that it's recomputed. And the number of times that it is triangulated. the recompute count and the triangulation count. And here, I'll do the recompute count. And each time, update the triangulation count. Yeah. And add 1 to this. Okay. So this is counting the number of calls to the triangulation function. This is counting the number of times that it's recomputed. So there are 58 times that it's triangulated. And it's recomputed 15. Didn't want that to jump down. So what does this mean? The 27th triangulation, it's recomputed. The 28th triangulation, it probably needs to be recomputed, but it isn't. So something probably happened between the 27th triangulation and the 28th triangulation. I think. So now what I should do, I should recompute the triangulation only if the triangulation number is less than 27, less than or equal to 27. I could do that. So I'll say for this, take these. Do I want to print this? I probably do. I'll say if triangulation count is less than or equal to 27, this is when I want to recompute it. So I guess greater than 27? Oh no, I want to always recompute this if it's greater than. I think. Is there an easier way to do this? Check this again. Still has the problem. Recomputes 14 times. So what I want to say is, if needs new triangulation, or recompute count is equal to 15, which means I'll be recomputing 1 extra time, and that doesn't do it either. Oh wait, I wanted this on the other one. I want and this not equal to 15. So it is equal to 15. It's going to recompute again no matter what. That doesn't change it either. Maybe there was an off by 1, but I don't think so. Okay. Let me do, and the triangulation count is less than something. So for 28 it has to be recomputed. For 29, it probably also needs to be recomputed. So I'll say if it's less than 29, so if it's 29 or greater, it won't use a cached one, it'll have to recompute it. And that fixes it. Although this is doing it literally every time. Less than 29. And the triangulation count is less than 29. So for 29 and greater, it's forced to recompute. If I do less than 28? It still works. 27? $21. Hold on. Oh, this is triangular. This is using the cached one less often and recomputing more. Which is what I want. But I don't think this is a useful way to encapsulate it. What if I made this 60 or something? This should bring the problem back. And it does, but in a weird way. It disappeared. I think that's because I did a weight 0. Disappeared, but then came back. Which is probably because it's being triangulated again during the weight calls. Okay, but let me do this with 30. No problem. 28. No problem. 32. No problem. 40. Then there was a problem. 38, there was a problem. Do I want to increase or decrease? I want to recompute more often, so I want to decrease it. 35. No problem. 36. Worked. 37. Worked. 38. Okay, so 38 has the problem. 37 doesn't. Unless it's really slow and I'm missing something. But I don't think that's the case. Okay, so 38 does have this problem. And, oh, let's try and do that. So I need to do this breakpoint. Okay, do it to 38 so that it will have the problem. Then if it equals 37, that's when I need to break. And what should happen is someplace in between this 37 and this 38, something should happen so that it'll have to re-triangulate. Hopefully. Let me see this. First thing I should see if it still happens if I do weight 0. And if this is just a pass. Yeah, it still happened. I make this is 37. I don't know if I'm seeing things. I think the problem is even happening at 37. Let's do a longer runtime. This might be runtime dependent. Because here I swear I see it with the wrong triangulation once. And it's supposed to be not having the problem that time. Maybe I can step through frame by frame. Maybe. Let me see. There's a decent chance this will crash. So definitely, that fill shader isn't doing it right that time. Maybe this is easy to say. It's easier to see with create. So it shouldn't update the fill. Of course it works with create. It doesn't work with write. So now I think I have to edit write to make the fill always visible. Project.set fill as equals 1. And you can see now where it stops doing what it's supposed to do. Wasn't trying to do that. So this is 15th time. Let's enter again. And on the 16th, it doesn't update. Okay, so if triangulation count is equal to 15, that's when I do the breakpoint, I think. Else, do that. Let's see. This is what it's supposed to be doing, although the triangulation is weird. It's one step early. Because it gets incremented here, so I'll say 16. Okay, Okay, so here it needs to be triangulated again. I'm gonna return this from this function. Object.color equals whatever. Okay, this is just rendering it, so that shouldn't update the object. For share and shader wrapper list. Guess that's still happening. I'm getting the shader wrapper list. Oh, that's empty, so that's fine. So it's rendering those. Okay. And I'll swap the buffers. Wait. Was it just cached that time? Did it return a cached one that time? Here. Here, it's returning a cached one. So by the time I'm pausing, it's too late. And I bet if I pause here and I say mob that needs new triangulation equals true, then I continue, then it works. Then it works. So I don't want this to be 16, I do want this to be 15. And now I'll see something. Here, there's going to be an update so that it should need to triangulate again. I think. Yeah. What? Okay, so it's gonna swap buffers eventually. So it does this, swap the buffers. Now, it's T, 0.5. Okay. And now it's going to do something that should warrant triangulating again. I don't think that's an update to time though. Oh, nope, that should have been update to time. Darn. Should have stepped into that. Return, return, return again. Cool, so now it's here. Go to the scene, step into this. There's only one animation. Animation.update objects. So there should be only one object here. Step into the update function. Wait, it's not updates. Okay. Wait. Oh, this is just for updating them. I think? No, I needed to step into that. Yeah, wait. What is animation.update objects? There's animation.update objects and there's animation.interpolate. Oh, I think what's happening is the animation. If you have an updater attached to a object that's also being animated, then the animation has to handle the update as well as handle the update from its own animating. So I think that's what's happening. So it's not until here. Here you need to interpolate the object. Now it's gonna get that sub alpha. Okay, I'll interpolate my object. Right, index. Okay, this is the first time the index is 1. So it's going here, subobject.interpolate, print subobject. Do subobject that needs new triangulation, or whatever it's called, false. So right now it's caching it so far. When I step into subobject.interpolate, it's doing super.interpolate. Wait, what is mobject1? Subobject. Okay, so go here. Self.needs new triangulation is false. Okay. If I step through this super.interpolate, I print this again, it's still false. What's alpha? Why didn't that? This should have updated the triangulation, I think. But, okay, what file is this? OpenGeoVector as object 892. This. It might do this refresh triangulation, but I think it's not going to. Again, it didn't do that refresh triangulation, so that's the problem. It's here, OpenGeoVector as object. And I thought this code was weird. Okay, what if here I just did, like, no matter what, self dot needs new triangulation if it's true. Which kind of makes sense. Let's see. I can't tell if it fixed the problem or not. Where's the change I did to right? Okay, so that fixed the problem. I mean, it would. Wait, if I do interactive embed, okay, so now it's using a cached one, which is what I want. So this works. If I do this and then like immediately quit, it's recomputing up until the 60th frame. After that, it's using a cached one. So that's correct. The question is this fix? I'll leave that there. Is this fix what I want to do? Honestly, this code never made any sense to me. You interpolate between the two mobjects. And if the mobject has interpolate between the two mobjects, then if the object has a fill, you triangulate the start point and the end point. And then if they're different, you refresh the triangulation instead of just assigning the same triangulation. Which maybe that wouldn't work. But is it worth trying to save time triangulating? Is it worth trying to find instances where you're animating a object, but you don't need to re-triangulate it? I guess if you're moving it, then you won't have to re-triangulate it. But it's triangulating on every frame anyway. It's not only is it triangulating on every frame, it's triangulating twice on every frame. So why wouldn't you just do this? What does refresh triangulation even do? Oh, it does that for everything in the family. Yeah, I think I'm gonna just do refresh triangulation no matter what. Well, this is, okay, if, and this doesn't make sense. If self.hasFill, and there's a mismatch, then it updates the triangulation for the entire family. So I have a question. If a parent has an opacity of 0, but the children have opacities of 1, will that object appear? I think maybe it won't. I'll say group. It's V group. Set fill opacity equals 0. Then like group dot add square something. And this won't have opacity 0. So add that group and just wait. And you do see it. I'm gonna print group dot fill opacity. Oh, I want to do fill and stroke. And it still appears. Let me print group.fill opacity, group.stroke opacity. Those are both 0, but the child has them at 1. And so it still appears. Which means that if the parent has a fill and the parent's points were updated, that doesn't mean you have to necessarily refresh the triangulation for the entire family. You have to do that on a case-by-case basis. You have to check it for each thing in the family, unless hasFill does that. It does any self.getFill opacities, which I think is only one value. Fill opacities doesn't have one entry for each child. So I'm just gonna, I think I'm just... well, I have to keep this in case you're using grants shaders, so... I'm just gonna say if config just new grants shaders. I'd like to But the ones I have right now are pretty buggy. And at least he's been working on his for like years at this point, so they're gonna have a lot of stuff ironed out, so they're at least good to test against. But I'd like to get rid of them eventually. What would be so nice, it would make it a lot easier if I had Python bindings for that thing that I can't find now. But for that constrained triangulation library. This. It might actually be worth just writing this, because I know this algorithm isn't super fast. Someone made a much faster implementation in Rust, which is also not maintained. Well, this one is maintained, but the one in Rust that's faster isn't maintained. Oh, and I should do refresh triangulation. Is it hard to make Python bindings? Kinda. It's hard to say. But even if you're thinking about making Python bindings, I wouldn't do it for this right now. Because at this point, I'm kind of curious how hard it is to implement this algorithm. And if it's not terribly difficult, I might end up implementing it myself, in which case I would do it in Rust. Anyway, did I solve this problem? Okay, so that works now. I'm gonna not print this. Not print this. Go back to this. Oh, this. Yeah, uncomment, comment this, uncomment this. Okay, so that's doing what it's supposed to do. That's doing what it's supposed to do. Great, so that's just, that works now. Great. That's great. Although, is that 0 still misbehaving? Looks like it could be. Although all of these letters look fine. I should just make this bigger. But yeah, this 0 looks like there's something going on. But then again, that might have to do with the fact that I feel like these shaders aren't as smooth as they're supposed to be either. Anyway, fixed that. That ended up being a pretty small fix too. This whole stream is going to end up being just bug fixes. Which I guess sometimes you gotta do it. This. Okay. I can take out this opacity test. Great. I'll just try this one more time. That's good. I wish I could scale this up like proportionally. Well, I guess I can do that. Great. Why is that one F way down here? Wait, what in the world? There might be something else going on with the shaders again. And when I reset the camera, it isn't exactly the way it was before. Okay, so that mostly works. Fix problem with right animation. Okay, did that. I'm sure there's another bug to fix. I might as well just fix bugs this whole time at this point. Next thing was with like certain threes. So I put a 3 here. I don't think it's specific to 3 or anything. Yeah. Okay, so this 3 looks perfect. If I do tech, I do this 3. Actually, I don't even know if I need the $sign. This 3 is jagged. Why? Maybe there's something easier than 3 to do this with. Maybe O is easier. Well, for O, it's easier to see the orientation. The outside is counterclockwise. Okay. And what was it? I'll just comment that. Outside curve is counterclockwise. When I do a circle, which I specifically edited this to make the orientation correct. Anyway, that curve is clockwise. And I should... So this is that same problem with the finding the curve orientation. Coming back, I think, because if I was to flip those points, yeah. Flip points, x is equal to 0. This, I suspect, will be jagged again. Yeah, that's jagged. And so this, if I flip the points, I think it'll be smooth. But it's not. Why? It's jagged both ways. Alright, take out this indexed at 0. Same thing. Now this said, I'm pretty sure I have to do text at 0 because the text itself has 0 points. So if I print text.data points, this is just empty. Yeah, that's an empty array. This is the one that actually has the points. Nope, that doesn't have any points. Okay. What? Oh, is it at 0 at 0? That one has the points. If I flip this... Okay, so now it's smooth. So this is a problem with the orientation, and the orientation for tech or LaTeX is different from the orientation for text with a T at the end. I wonder if this is always the case. Text. I'll do an 8. I'll do a 9. What else is curved? B? Next to... Let's do that shift down. Then 2 times down, 3 times down. It's 2. I did not mean for them to be that slow. That is way too slow. Also, this should be 2. 4, 6. Smooth, jagged. This 8 is jagged. Jagged, jagged. So it seems to be pretty consistent. So there's one easy solution, which is to go into the OpenGL tech code and just flip their points. Otherwise, I'd be back at the place of trying to like compute the orientation of a curve, which isn't possible. I don't think. In general, although Grant has something that works half the time. So maybe I could ask him. I think I'm just gonna flip the OpenGL tech. Because nobody will notice. Although, hold on. Is it more natural to draw it this way? I mean, it's possible I could switch the concavity. I could have a flag that changes which direction the concavity is for the specific mobject. And then I wouldn't have to change the mobject. I would just check that flag and then change the shader. Let me try doing that. And if that works, I can change the circle back to the way it was. Tech. OpenGL math tech. But inherits from this. This inherits from this. This inherits from the SVG object. This goes into generate points, which is inherited from SVG object, but it only has to be done for the OpenGL SVG object. And so what I could do is just note which direction the orientation is for this. So I got something just like orientation, which shouldn't be configurable. It'd be weird to configure that. We just have like this. Well, it's -1 or something. It's the opposite of most objects. I'll call that -1. Yeah. So now they're all jagged. What I want to do is go into the shader or the fill. And then go to the triangulation, I think. Here, and I'll just switch these two sides. So I'll keep this the way it normally is. That's the way I'll change it. And now run this. And they're... Whoops. And they're smooth. So I do want to do that. What I want to do, I'll say if mob dot but the mobject that's passed to the shader isn't the SVG mobject. It's like a single stroke something. Where's my example code? Say print text at 0 at 0. Pretty sure it's not an OpenGL whatever. It's an OpenGL text symbol. So I don't want this in OpenGL SVG object. I don't think. Maybe I do though. Maybe all of the SVGs will have that problem. How difficult is constrained by Delaunay triangulation? It's not that long. Eliminate blah 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 blah. It'd probably take super long to do this in a fast way. Although if it's a compiled language, I could afford to be pretty lazy. Divide and conquer algorithm. Ready for the manipulation of the general subdivisions. I think I've seen this before. Following problems discussed. Given endpoints of the plane and an arbitrary query point Q. Find the site that is okay. Voronoi diagram. Whether based on the use of the Voronoi dual or Delaunay triangulation. Oh. 2 algorithms are given. One that constructs a Voronoi diagram at n-log n time. And another that inserts a new sit. What is a sit? On linear time. Whether based on the use of this or the Delaunay triangulation and are simple enough to be of practical value. The simplicity of both algorithms can be attributed to the separation of the geometrical and topological aspects of the problem. Okay. It's doable in n-log n, I guess. I think I've seen this paper before. It was just like enormous. You might have to have a subscription to like some academic thing. Sci-Hub? What's Sci-Hub? UI search string. It's 14 pages. That's not too bad. It's sideways though. Yeah, I've seen this before. Wait. There. Oh my gosh, it only does that for 1 page, whatever. No, I hadn't heard of it before. I'd always... Well, for a long time I was in college, and so we could just do it through, like, MIT lets you get access to these sorts of things. You can highlight sideways. And I can also do it through my job, although I never bothered to set it up, so that's really helpful. I get the feeling though, without knowing, I'd have to actually read this algorithm and see if it's something I can do. I should be able to do it. If I just put in divide and conquer. Constrained. Do this. I guess you split it. The Delaunay triangulation. Oh, constrained. Next, the constraints are added to the Delaunay triangulation. Constraints will all be in the form of a required edge between 2 points. To adjust for the constraint, we need to delete all triangles which have an edge that intersects the constraint. In a way, we are clearing a path of the constraint. Once this is finished, we will have a polygon within our triangulation that contains the 2 points of the constraint. A path is cleared for the constrained edge from 1 to 10. Okay, then you add it. The addition of the constrained edge cuts the polygon into 2 pieces. The 2 pieces are then triangulated generically. I have access to articles too, but Sci-Hub is a lot more convenient and sometimes has some papers I don't have access to. Nice. Then you just add back those non-Delaunay triangles. Well, since this is actually outlining a way to go from a Delaunay triangulation to a constrained Delaunay triangulation, you can actually do a regular Delaunay triangulation with SciPy. So if I did that, then it'd be a matter of two things: clearing this path and then triangulating the divided polygon. Both of which seem really, really annoying. Oh my gosh. Maybe using the C++ library is the best thing to do. Anyway, I forgot the name of the thing. OpenGL text symbol. SVG path object. And this is just from vmobject. So for this, and say self-orientation equals -1, like this, go here. If this is 1, do this. Let's say else. Also swap it like that. Okay, then I want to go to something really high up the chain. So basically OpenGL vmobject. My Vim is lagging. And this... self orientation equals 1. Then I should be able to go to the circle. Where's the circle? Oh, it's an arc. Or did I just flip the points? Here's generate points. Why did I do that? Isn't there somewhere here? Reverse points in OpenGL geometry. You should be able to get rid of this and just put the orientation equals -1. So now, if I'm lucky, I should be able to write text and tech. And circles. I have to do this. 2. Text 6 is a circle. And I'll do like create. So that's smooth, that's not smooth, that's not smooth, that's not smooth, that's not smooth. And that one's not filled, so I can't tell. Fill opacity equals 1. So it didn't work. I know it should work. Oh, it didn't even work from a circle. Why? Weird. So let me just swap it for all of them, like this. Okay, and that switched. That switched which ones are jagged and which ones aren't jagged. So why isn't this working? If orientation equals 1, else. And here I'm setting the orientation to -1. And here I'm setting the orientation to -1. Is it ever doing this? Oh, I actually don't know the orientation. They're all 1. And the reason they're all 1 is because all of them inherit from OpenGL VMobject. And OpenGL VMobject sets it to 1 here. So what I want to do is actually similar to the config dicts. So the solution is to bring back config dicts. Just kidding. I think I just put it after this super. Although it still didn't work. It worked for the circle. It just didn't work for the SVG whatevers. Which kind of makes sense. Because the SVG objects are very strange objects. Meta class equals convert to OpenGL. I don't know what this line does, but I'm willing to bet this is what's making it not work. I have an orientation equals -1 here. Nope. OpenGL Tech. Wouldn't both of these be SVG path objects though? So I guess it's good it didn't work because I wouldn't want it to switch them for all of them. I'm going to OpenGL Tech here. And it just does this. It's just OpenGL Math Tech. So this is what's going to generate all the children and stuff. Maybe just at the end of this, I should just set it for all of the children. So here I break up by substrings. Subobjects. This isn't where the subobjects are created though. Subobjects are created, I guess, in the initializer for this, OpenGL single string math tech. And the initializer for SVG object. Which uses, so here it's created. This is where it takes a path and turns it into a mobject. OpenGL SVG path object. But at this point, this would change it for both tech and text. I mean, I can try putting orientation equals -1 here. But at best, this would switch them. And it ended up not even switching them. Add string to mobject. Where are these children coming from? SVG mobject. This isn't where I should be looking. I want to be looking here. Math tech. I think just at the end of this. Or like mob. Let me just print out the children. Okay, those were text symbols. And so I do want to do and not sub objects. Here. Okay, that did it. And is there a way to move that earlier? I don't think so, because I don't want to do this. Actually, maybe if I put it here. I put orientation equals -1 here, and then in OpenGL SVG object, that definition. Orientation equals 1 by default. Let's say self.orientation equals orientation. Don't know what that did. Oh. That doesn't do it. That's so weird. Maybe that's not that weird. Because this is going to get set here, but then it's going to call OpenGL VMobject after that. So maybe I actually have to set it here. And then I can pass it as a KWR. I still can't. Forget it. Forget it. I won't try to pass it as a KWR. I'm gonna just do that instead. Okay, now everything looks pretty smooth. Okay. OpenGL vectorized mobject, that's the orientation equals 1. What's the problem? Well, I think I just fixed it. But the problem was that certain mobjects were rendering crooked, were rendered like jagged when they shouldn't be jagged. Like this. This O, well, this is supposed to be a circle, so that makes it really obvious. But this O is jagged, this 8 is jagged, this 9 is jagged, and so is this. And the reason was that the curves had different orientations. And I think I fixed that. So now when I render these, all the curves are smooth. And the circle is actually a circle. Which is great. And it wasn't that much code. Just a lot of debugging, basically. Great. So now... I guess I can go back to doing the tutorial, but probably not. I'll probably run into another bug. Dash V. Was I passing a dash V? Oh. I don't know. It's verbose, I guess. But I'm using Oh My Zeesh, and I just use GC. And it just does it. Yeah, I should probably learn what the rest of them do. I thought committing saves it locally. It does. Yeah, that's true. Is it plugins? Git? Oh, there's an emoji one. Echo emoji. That's so cool. Kinda cool. I mean, I think I can do emojis like... No, I can't. Okay, anyway. That's why. Cool. So I'm gonna try running this again. Oh. Save it. Do that again. Okay. Other than some of the symbols being rendered a level down, this is doing everything it's supposed to. Adding V to the git command shows the diff, which you're committing in the text editor. Yeah. Yeah, it said that in the help menu. It's probably worth figuring out why this text is behind this text. But at least it's not bothering me yet. Okay, now that I've been fixing bugs this whole time, I don't really feel like working on the walkthrough. Oh, there is one more thing. A triangle was supposed to appear there. So I guess I can fix that really fast. Is it just should be U view matrix, U projection matrix? Is that the only thing? Yeah, that was the only thing. Also, the corner's in the wrong place now. Oh man. Wait, I think this makes sense. I shifted these forward so that they wouldn't be covered by the triangle, the way this F is. Oh. But now that I've done that, I shouldn't have to do that anymore. I shift out by 0. So that's by 0. That's by 0. That's by 0. That's by 0, I think. Man, I did this a bunch of times. Okay, so now if I render this, it actually looks fine still. Although I don't see why the triangle isn't covering these. Well, it is if you scroll. If I like move the camera around, you can see where these are being drawn right on top of each other. But the level of shift, the shift can be very small for all of these. So let's do like 0.1. Actually, this should be a variable. Should do like self dot text shift plus 0.1. So make it out times 0.1. I can just update these. Self text shift here and here. Okay, so now they moved ever so slightly. I don't know why the F isn't though. No, I wanted to quit this. How do I... Where's the F? Dots, fragment lines here. Okay. Everything's working now. So that's a little off the side. And then it shows this. Okay, the entire reason, not the entire reason, a lot of the entire reason that I did all of that work updating those shaders is so that now the text is mapped into the space the same way that the mesh from this triangle, or the mesh representing this triangle, is mapped into the space. So the text and the mesh move together now. Whereas if I used Grant's shaders, they won't move together. Although it does look kind of different. I wonder why that is. These are actually moving together remarkably well. Oh, the zooming is like totally different though. This isn't... yeah, it's not terrible, but it basically only works if I zoom to like exactly right here or so. I mean, I coded this so that the way that grand shaders are projected will try to mimic the way that the meshes are. And it sometimes sort of works, but it's not that great. Okay. Anyways, that was a lot of debugging. It's been about 2 hours now. And actually, I think this scene is basically done now. There wasn't a ton I wanted to add to this. You have Odyssey separation between the lines and the triangle. Oh, that was with... I was using Grant shaders. When I'm not using Grant shaders, I think it doesn't do that. Although... Actually, I'm not sure what you mean by separation. They're actually still in the z-axis. Oh, that has to happen. So that has to happen because otherwise they'll occupy the same space in 3D. Oh man, I crashed my window manager. Oops. But they'll occupy the same space in 3D. And so they'll like flicker and stuff. I should code like this one day. One stream. I should just code like this the entire time. And then like to test out, push to GitHub and stuff. This would be intense. Like I can't even read this right now. Anyway. I don't think I have enough to commit to GitHub actually, so yeah, I'm just gonna raid someone. Yeah, you can ask a random question. Right, here we go. Hotel Wi-Fi is awful. Let's not do a bad Wi-Fi one. How can you have a GIF wallpaper on Linux? It's actually a shader. I'm doing it with a program called GL Paper. Actually, this is probably a better link. Okay, I'm gonna raid this person. I'm not gonna check how long he's been going. I'm just gonna do it. No problemo. Hopefully next time. Oh, I should have rated the person doing Rust. Whatever. Okay, see you guys.
Collected item chicken. Eula Tour, thank you very much for the raid. I appreciate that. Oh, actually, it probably is pronounced Euler Tour, but you don't have the little dots above the U. So, how you doing? Thank you very much for the raid. Appreciate it. How you doing, Aquabeam? Pseudomaze. How are we all?